Hi, folks. My name is Kyle Abraham. I'm a dancer and choreographer, and I just want to say how thankful and grateful I am to be a 2016 Doris Duke recipient, and how grateful and thankful I am to be a 2013 Creative Capital awardee. Thanks. The last time I presented my work at a Creative Capital retreat, I told you the story of one of my mother's favorite pastimes while attending Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio in the 1960s. A lot of that time was spent at a club called the Funky Butts. And I had thought that story would really inspire a new dance work that at that time I called The Social. Since that presentation in 2013, I began to take a harder look at not only where my work was heading, but also where it seemed like the world was heading. Looking at previous works like 2012's Pavement, a work that addresses the active genocide of Black families across the country, or 2014's When the Wolves Came In, or The Watershed, or 2015's Absent Matter, works that commented on the senseless murders of so many people that looked just like me, or those that felt that they couldn't really feel prideful in who they were, or how they were, or who they loved, or how they loved. These struggles and hardships drove me to alter the focus of my creative capital shortly after that initial presentation in 2013. Ideally, I decided to switch things up and focus a little bit more on words like love, loving, loss, and longing. I saw this as a way to break away from both the draining and frustrating emotional journey that my previous works were taking on me emotionally, and in the process, trying to find a way to heal my audience members and my workshop participants alike. Ideally, trying to find something that was a bit brighter. Unknowingly so, those four L words of love, loving, longing, and loss took an eerie turn and became all the more personal to me, having lost my mother less than 2 months ago today. No longer having parents alive or feeling like I have anyone in my life that has to love me, this work has been all the more important and palpable in its creative process. The work is now entitled Dearest Home and will see its premiere at Yerba Buena Center for the Arts as one of the commissioners of this work in San Francisco, May of 2017. The performance will be presented in the round with the audience on all four sides. Additionally, Dearest Home was commissioned by the Hopkins Center for the Arts, I see you, Margaret, for a proscenium adaptation set for the fall of 2017. Being that this work is primarily composed of both solos and duets, it can be performed in both museum settings or gallery settings, and also in nightclub settings or at a botanical gardens. Both the creative process and the creative outreach work that I've been working on over the past 2 years have been documented by Danish filmmaker Flemming Fintz with the prospects of ideally creating a documentary film, which we've been working on over the past 2 years. I hope that this project engages with some of you and you can find some kind of interest in tagging along on this journey. This work also, I should say, I decided to strip away one of my real true loves, which was music from this project. I give the audience the opportunity to either watch the show in silence or via headsets. So if you have some wonderful connection to possibly a company that creates infrared headsets for an audience to listen to by choice, or some kind of way of connecting with some kind of headset of some sort, that would be greatly appreciated, or any funding support you can give towards either the documentary film or the dance adaptation would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I would also like to say, as we're closing up, that the silent footage that you're seeing here and the still image was shot by a dear friend, collaborator, board member, and Creative Capital grantee, Carrie Schneider. Lastly, Dearest Home is a work where the title came from both love letters that my father wrote to my mother that all began, "My dearest Jackie." I found those letters when my now ex-boyfriend and I were cleaning out my parents' home. That ex-boyfriend for me was my home as someone who doesn't have one. I travel all year long and all my things are in storage. So as this journey continues, I invite you all into my home. Thank you very much.